Christopher Walken. You know why I'm chuckling is because he's making news right now. He's obviously the Severance star, and it's just Christopher Walken. He has admitted recently that he goes old school when it comes to tech. Doesn't have a phone. Has never emailed anyone. So having said that, there's no question that he calls it twittering. It's not even Twitter anymore. So no surprise he's never tweeted.
Yeah, well, I love his quotes because he says, I don't have any modern gadgets. I don't use modern gadgets. So, and yeah, his quote was, I don't have technology. I only own a satellite dish on my house. I don't have a cell phone. I've never emailed. And I've, never twittered.
Yep. Yep.
Twittered. So, I don't think I've actually heard that word before.
Well,
no.
Yeah,
Twittered?
that's close enough. We say tweeted, but
tweeting?
Whatever.
Yeah. But apparently his lack of technology falls in line with Severance because Ben Stiller, who was the co-executive producer and director, he has got a no phones rule on the set. So Walken is leading by example there.
Yeah, for sure.
And actually, he was asked if he's actually watched himself in Severance ever before, and he says, no, I haven't seen all of them because I can't. I don't have the equipment. But they've been good enough to send me the DVDs. But he can't stream them. So, I don't know, could you live without your smartphone? Could you live without technology like Christopher Walken?
In today's age, no. I mean, you should see me looking where the kids are. I can't believe I can track them and watch where they are and through GPS. I don't know if that's
right, yeah, you know where each of your children are 24/7.
And
right?
my nephew.
Yes,
the third child in the house.
See, I don't know. Morgan, let's bring Morgan in first in the morning with entertainment. I don't know about you, but that was like the best part of my childhood was,
sure.
Having fun without my parents' knowledge.
No, it was so true. Just playing a lot of Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Listen, I would love to be off social media. It's just part of my job, so I can't. But yeah, sometimes having a break makes a difference, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
So, all right, let's get into it here this morning, and we're going to start with Lady Gaga, who's talking about this, new album that she announced is coming, she announced yesterday it's coming in March.
Yes, so fans are so excited for her 7th album. This is going to be called Mayhem. Last year she did release new music, but it was more of a companion album to the movie she was in, Joker Folie à Deux. So the last time we had a full-length album from her was Chromatica back in 2020. It was released during the pandemic, so fans are really excited about this, and she really opened up just about the pressures that she has faced in her career. Her first album came out in 2008, so she said this, being a woman and a product at the same time was really exhausting, which I think is really telling. And she goes on to talk about the artists today, a lot of female artists in the pop world who she admires, like Billie Eilish, Sabrina Carpenter, Charlie XCX. And I think it's really interesting because I think fans have been waiting for some good pop music from her. You know, she's gone on to have this amazing acting career. She's definitely dabbled in different genres with jazz and her work with Tony Bennett. So yeah, she said this album basically started with her facing her fears of creating pop music that her fans loved early on in her career. So I'm excited for this one.
Well, I think that's also what I am too. But that's what people love about Gaga too. She's always spoke the truth right from the get-go.
I know.
Also speaking out, Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, yes. He's always so vocal. I'm just going to get right into the quote board because it's just very Quentin Tarantino. He's talking about the state of the film industry, and he says this, what the F is a movie now? Something that plays in theaters for a token release of 4 effing weeks, and by the second week, you can watch it on television.
Tell us how you really feel.
I'm just so surprised that Quentin Tarantino would be cursing. I mean, knowing his movies.
Of course. Very on brand for him. So he was having a private Q&A at Sundance is going on right now, the film festival.
Yeah.
And he basically just said, listen, I'm in no rush to work on a new movie. He believes that films have drastically gotten worse since 2019. He thought movies were good then, and in the years since then, they've just not been very good. So yeah, he basically just said, I'm not in any rush to create a new movie.
Yeah, I think he does have a bit of a point when it comes to it not being as special a movie in the theater anymore, because he's absolutely right. It seems like it's on streaming services like that.
It's true, but people want that access in their homes too, right? So I agree with you. I'm a diehard, as you know, film goer. Being in a movie theater is like a second home to me, but it's because a lot of people don't leave their homes these days. So I think it's a tricky balance, but I get why filmmakers like him are disappointed.
Yeah, you know what? There's nothing that replaces going to the movie theater, I think, and watching it with the collective.
Right?
With a bunch of people. Yeah,
I know.
having that experience.
Yeah, nothing else like it.
All right, Will Ferrell also making some headlines.
Yeah, so listen, he is not okay that John Krasinski was named People's Sexiest Man Alive. He feels like he should have been in the running, but he goes on to, he's kidding, of course, but he goes on to say, you know, I was trying to go into the running, but I just didn't get any votes. I thought I would. He goes on to say, listen, I'm going to have a better campaign next year or this year. We're going to have billboards up in L.A. and New York City. He's just fun. Right now, he's on a big press tour with Reese Witherspoon for their new film, You're Cordially Invited, which, as you know, I was in England last week to interview them for it. It was so much fun. The movie is chaos and chaotic. There's alligators. It's a whole thing. So he's just having a lot of fun doing a lot of press right now.
All right.
And the interview with Reese and Will air on the show tomorrow.
That's right. And we also did not mention that you did speak to Christopher Walken as well, and you'll have that interview next month, right?
What a career highlight. That will air, next month on the show.